is true happiness is like poison in the beginning, but nectar in the end. And false happiness is nectar in the beginning and poison in the end.
Is now you should be clear about the energy and the time you already converted into money. Now to connect with the society, this money has to be used.
And a great deal of learning can happen when if you visit a hospital, an intensive care unit, an orphanage, an old age home, a mortuary.
You have a duty of taking care of your parents. Okay? They don't do that. But they claim the right of poverty.
Nah.
The second is that they get so much attached and they don't know how to detach from there and stand alone and see the benefit of it, which also they have not been taught in their curriculum or in their educations or as a part of the things.
Friends, every individual, be it a young person or an old person, each one seems to seek health, wealth, work, relationships, and peace. But the reality is, not everyone seems to experience it. Therefore, to have good health, reasonable wealth, joyful work, meaningful relationships, and progressive peace, the reality of these aspects are, you can't buy it. You have to deserve it. You need to work towards it. You can't own it, but all these things are an effect of rightful living. These aspects are all an effect of inclusiveness of all that you want to adhere in life. In this regard, we have a fabulous guest who has, by living a life of inclusivity, has good health, reasonable wealth, enjoys his work to the fullest, has wonderful relationships with his family, and in my observation, he's got abundant peace. Such a person we are privileged to have in our lectures for quite some time, and now he is in his path, Mr. Chokalingam.
Chokalingam, in the heart of Chettinad, carries over 70 years of wisdom and more than 5 decades of expertise in banking and finance. While his professional roots were deep in financial services, his passion always leaned toward education and innovation. With the entrepreneurial spirit of the Nagarathar community in his veins, he expanded his journey into diverse ventures: textile manufacturing, hospitality, education, marriage halls, renewable energy, IT consulting, and even agriculture. Today, his story stands as a testament to resilience, adaptability, and the power of vision across industries.
Thank you very much, sir, for either joining us in this aspect. I've seen you as a person. I mean, I call you as Mr. Inclusivity. You have included all people, your effort, your community, and as a result, you are where you are. Our notion is we want people to enjoy their life and possibly to age gracefully. We keep highlighting adding life to your years is living joyfully. Adding life to your years. You're one such person, you added a lot of life into your years, and as a result, I can see there is a sense of joy, peace, and contentment. So I'm very happy to have this podcast, Living Life Gracefully and Joyfully. Thank you.
Thank you, Sreedharan. Thanks a lot. It's my pleasure to be with you on these occasions. And I had this privilege. I just really feel this as a privilege just to have you here in our premises here, and which has created an opportunity for us to exchange some views, which can in turn be used for the society also as a whole. Thank you for being with us. It's really very, very privileged moment for us. So with this small kind of gratitude, what I want to just ask you a few questions about, which will bring some clarity to me. getting aged, and then uh, they retired from their day-to-day routine, or they retire from their businesses or from their job or whatever it is. The society itself gives them a feeling of retirement,
Right.
and expect them to get into a different mode, uh, whether they are prepared or not. So there is a transition which takes place at the age of 60, and most of the times that's what the age defined by the world. At this moment of a time, there are people who are left with money, who are left with quite a lot of time, but end up in having a large vacuum in their life, which is called loneliness.
Right.
And the more you get aged, probably you feel more get isolated from the society and start living a lone life on your own. That's a kind of a feeling which is getting created. Now, I just want to know more about it, saying that what do you suggest to those people to come out of this loneliness and being in loneliness, but still be a part of the society and enjoy a peaceful, graceful life
Right.
after the so-called retirement? What are your suggestions?
Thank you. That's a lovely question. In fact, most people are helplessly experiencing loneliness. I don't think anyone wants to experience loneliness, but as we started the discussion, this podcast, it, reasonable health, good wealth, joyful work, progressive relationships, and reliable or a good level of good amount of peace. These things you have to have, you need to deserve it. You have to work towards it. Do it all an effect. The cause you got to put in. We keep highlighting our life functions on cause and effect. If you have a blissful or a peaceful life, I don't think you're in a retired life. You're still very active, but now you have allocate time to all that you wanted to allocate time. You're rich in time. You have provided time and effort to causes which you consider as genuine, noble, and beneficial. So, in our life, life functions on cause and effect. We put in the right cause, effect happens. Then most people, the problem is they define their life with just one role. It could be the work. And every other role, they take it for granted. And as a result, when the time comes, now the individual minus the role, they fall flat. And other roles, they've taken it for, not just for granted, they have not given enough importance or priority to it. And as a result, they are where they are. Loneliness is a helpless experience. In fact, that's why I said, if they have not worked on these factors from an early stage, each one goes through knocks and shocks of life. Maybe a death of a person, or you visit an orphanage or an old age home or a hospital. Something should hit you. They say a great deal of learning can happen when if you visit a hospital, an intensive care unit, an orphanage, an old age home, a mortuary. These places can teach you far more than any scriptures, they say. So already in early stage, we set your priorities right. And then if you're able to deal with it, loneliness will be there, but it will be very manageable. But if a person is self-centered, they focused on themselves, there's a lack of inclusivity. In fact, I value this word more after moving with it. Inclusivity, inclusiveness. So if you include all aspects of your life properly, health, wealth, relationships, work, peace, and in equal proportion, then the real impact happens. If I focus, everyone needs to work hard. They have to focus on the work, but work alone is not enough. They say in one of the regrets of those in the last stages of their life, the psychologists have done a research, and the last stages of the life, one of the major regrets is, I wish I hadn't worked so hard in life. Meaning, See, working hard is important. I wish I hadn't worked so hard in life. They define their lives with one rule. After the retirement, they can be replaced within a week or within a month. 25 years of service can be replaced within a month. You should work hard, you should contribute, you should be genuine, but don't define your life with just one rule. Then what happens? You're left with time and the dangerous disease called loneliness. Loneliness, we define, is you could be living in big cities, you could be having families and friends, you could be visiting and meeting them on a regular basis, but the thought is, nobody understands me in the way I want to be understood. Nobody accepts me in the way I want to be accepted. That is when a person is experiencing loneliness. So, this is a helpless situation. It's like when a person is experiencing loneliness, how do they deal with it? It's like we're trying to buy a fire insurance premium when my factory is under fire. It will not happen. So, the suggestion there is bring in inclusivity. Move from being selfish to unselfish. Unselfish meaning you are able to accommodate interest of yourself and others and have the right satsang. The satsang is substance truths, sang is association of good people. And we will work on your thoughts and emotions on a regular basis. We keep highlighting, without improving the quality of thoughts and emotions, nothing in their life improves. So there are people they have money. See, they worked on their work, they worked on their job. There is material abundance, there is facilities. But that's not it. To have a progressive life, comforts and facilities alone is not enough. There must be contentment. There must be joys. In fact, we keep highlighting happiness in small things of life. It is, you see, success should be in the big things of life. Happiness must be in the small things of life. Having a coffee, you're very happy. Going for a walk, you're very happy. At times, I visited your home for the older people. Sometimes some people find it difficult to walk. What a blessing is just to walk. Forget running and all. So, happiness in the small things of life. It is and gratitude for everything in life. And success in the large things in life. Let's not be content with small success. Let's go for the sky. Let's go for the sky. Success in big things of life. Happiness in the smallest things of life. You meet a person and so happy meeting it. Then there's a conversation. Gratitude for everything. So, all these things, eventually why I'm telling you is, there's nothing in the world that can disturb a person as much as their thoughts. Nothing in the world that can disturb them as much as their thoughts. That's why it should. If only we know the power of one negative thought, we will never entertain it. At the same time, if suddenly you know the power of one positive emotion, you will never avoid it.
So, in the crux of whatever you are talking is, what I could understand is that what's left is mostly time. And then this is what I understand from time part of it, while what is given by the God is equal to everyone. And someone become rich, someone become intelligent, someone become more knowledgeable or more useful to the society by way of utilization of the time.
Right.
Through some efforts.
Correct.
So basically time and effort together.
Correct.
Either you used to make money and then the money is accumulated and the time is lost.
Correct.
Okay. And then later you have a lot of money and you still have some time left out, but the energy is not there. We can club with the money to make money.
Yes.
So in the process that your energy is going down and your time becomes not usable.
Yes.
That's actually, you feel it as loneliness.
Correct. You're right.
Somewhere around you feel that you have a time, but you don't have an energy to convert this into money.
Correct.
But what you need to understand is that based on what I have talked to you and what you have explained, is now you should be clear about the energy and the time you already converted into money. Now to connect to the society, this money has to be used. And use this money to connect to the society. If you do that, and your loneliness will automatically disappear.
Correct.
Because the time and energy which you had when you were young was used to convert this into money.
Correct.
And the money is the man-created one,
Correct.
and which becomes a part of things available to you today
Yes.
to get connected to the society.
Correct.
So use this money for the betterment of the society. In the process, your loneliness will disappear.
Correct.
This is the way I
See,
see.
that's how you've been living.
That's the way you actually plan your life,
Correct.
and that's the way you plan your things. Automatically, the so-called loneliness could disappear.
Correct.
Your connectivity or your connection to the society will continue at the and in the process, the recognition of social being there with you, and your loneliness could disappear. This is my own experience, absolutely, and that experience could probably help others answer these questions.
Yes. I'm glad. See, the interesting part is we brought in that inclusivity. I guess you should spearhead the concept of inclusivity. And for youngsters, as a result, this is when you're adding life to your years, and therefore at a certain stage in life, put on a work retirement stage, you're utilizing your energies, your top energies, your material well-being for a much larger cause. And as a result, where is loneliness? That's what we generally what my thought process is that, okay, up to a certain age, people demand time from you, and your time is actually used or demanded by the society for various purposes. That means you live for your family, you live for somebody else, and what you should do after a certain age, and you should have to plan for it, that குடும்ப சுமைகளை இறக்கி வச்சு சமூக சுமைகளை தூக்கி கொள்ளக்கூடிய ஒரு நிலைமைக்கு நம்மளை மூவ் பண்ணணும். வெரி குட்.
ஸோ சுமைங்கிறது நீங்க லாஸ்ட் மினிட் வரைக்கும் அவாய்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. தட்ஸ் சம்திங் யூ ஷுட் நெவர் திங்க் ஆஃப் ஈவன். யூ வில் ஆல்வேஸ் கேரி சம்திங். Either the old memories, you will carry the old memories, or you will carry a certain amount of emotions in your life. So you have to carry. But what is it you are carrying matters.
Correct.
So you might have carried quite a lot of your personal worries till the age of 60 or maybe a certain age. And after that, you should be willing to carry the social problems or the social issues.
Correct.
And carry on that will make you a social being.
Excellent.
The minute you start living as a social being, your loneliness will disappear.
Absolutely.
This is a way, if you plan your life while you are young, and you save your money and your basically your time and energy. Youngsters getting somewhere around, you feel young, right, when you start mixing with the youngsters. What would be your suggestions, and what is the kind of things you would like to give it to the youngsters who have very a dynamic way of living at this point of time, and at the time has changed quite a lot. 5-day matches has become 1-day cricket. 1-day cricket has become 20 over games, and slowly, the things about completing things quicker or achieving result faster or turning out things quicker has become the face of the life now.
Correct.
And in the process, they get into stress. They get into quite a lot of competitiveness, and comparative things really makes them to feel tired because they keep running it to complete it faster. But while the success is sought through these phases, to achieve the success peacefully and in a peaceful mind, what are your suggestions to be?
Right. In fact, for the youngsters, each one is looking for happiness. And you're a big believer of Bhagavad Gita. I thought we should, the stress and happiness cannot go together. Gratitude and disturbance cannot go together. Stress is an effect of your desires which are unfulfilled is causing agitations in you. And this kind of a stress is always going to be there. One way to deal with it is pursue happiness in the right way. They are trying to fulfill the desires and trying to be happy.
They went to fulfill the desires, then they think they will be happy. You may fulfill a desire, but you don't really fulfill a desire. You upgrade a desire. A person is driving a sedan, a simple sedan. He is okay until he says, now I have a family. I need to have an SUV. And now that he has an SUV, he says, look here, I need to have a better car. It is, all that we are saying is, desires fulfilled are actually desires upgraded. Nobody transcends a desire. They just keep upgrading desire. I mean, as an entrepreneur will say, what's wrong? And I'm doing, 50 crores. I want to do 500 crores. Nothing wrong with, nothing wrong in your aspiration, but everything wrong when you're obsessive of it. In simple terms, youngsters, most of them are postponing their happiness. If I get that, I'll be happy. If I become that, I'll be happy. He's a marketing manager. Unless I become the CEO, I won't be happy. Unless I have this nice villa near the beach, I won't be happy. They are postponing their happiness. That's the reason many of their stress and difficult situations they are creating to themselves. Stress is not external. My guru always says, all stress is internal. He says, get me a situation, I'll tell you how it is internal, who says. Not to challenge you, not to put them down. The notion is, stress is internal. They're not aware of it. To become a little more aware and to deal with their stress, and the Bhagavad Gita gives a beautiful suggestion. True happiness and false happiness. It says, true happiness is like poison in the beginning, but nectar in the end. And false happiness is nectar in the beginning and poison in the end. So, if the youngsters take up to the true happiness, to be disciplined, to be inclusive of one and all, to be in line with the higher values of life, to have a sense of gratitude and humility, all these qualities or character traits are difficult in the beginning, like poison in the beginning. To become unselfish from being selfish is difficult in the beginning, like poison. But once you start doing it, it's nectar in the end. That's true happiness. False happiness is, you get into a job, you get an X amount of credit card limit, you overspend, and you indulge in various things in life which is not right. Now what they are left is a stress and strain. Relationship doesn't work for them that easily. Wealth, we don't enjoy that much. Wealth they have generated, it doesn't stay with them. So it is stress and strain which they are following. The suggestion here is, if younger generation can understand some of the messages of Bhagavad Gita, true happiness and false happiness. Anything which is very pleasant in the beginning, watch out. It could be dangerous in the end. Anything which is unpleasant in the beginning, don't drop it. Persevere it with it, and possibly you will get a far better life, a beautiful life. Like, see, if they pursue true happiness, there would be a lack of loneliness at a certain stage. If they're following the false happiness, they seem to be happy in a certain stage in life, but it is, again, the Bhagavad Gita says, any contact-born pleasure is a womb of sorrow. So they have to differentiate between pleasure and happiness. They need to understand exactly what is large and what is not large. The end result has to be clearly understood before you start the journey. That's what is.
See, this is where you set the priorities right. Work is important, the family is equally important. Wealth is important, but health is equally important. The friends are important, but the parents are equally or more important. You set your priorities right well in time, and then you allocate time and energy towards those sources. So, a loss of a parent is always a loss of a parent. It's not that easy, but the regrets may be less.
Right.
So, that is why I say the happiness is something which is non-negotiable. Why would we do something which gives us unhappiness? And youngsters have a disciplined life. We are not saying don't enjoy, but understand, pursue the true happiness. Like poison in the beginning, but nectar in the end. Like uncomfortable in the beginning, but becomes very comfortable in the end.
Like you take medicine.
Correct.
Medicine could be not really very tasty, but at the end of the day,
End of the
do
day.
something.
Yes, and any kind of waking up in the morning is difficult. Once you start doing it, you use the early part of the day. It's blissful.
Yes.
Or the exercise, eating healthy, or the exercising, spending time with parents. It is once they're no more. Every day you think of that. When they were there, you took it for granted. So stress and strain is man-made, is self-created. If you can deal with your mind and intellect properly, stress can be handled. There will be stress. When you're going out, there is a traffic jam. Appears to be stress, but if your mind and intellect is strong enough, you can deal with it well. You can call a friend at the time, you can listen to your favorite song. Somewhere down the line, it works in a better way.
See, Bhagavad Gita is a, like it's a ஒரு வாழ்வியல் முறை, a method of living your life and how you should lead your life in the social circle.
Correct.
It extraordinarily, very clearly, give the explanations on it with related stories, yes, which are linked to that. So it's a very, very important lesson in my view. Every youngster should be taught with.
Correct.
But unfortunately, our education system doesn't include that here, for various reasons. Because it's not there, and there is an obligation, there is a duty on the part of people like you,
Right.
To bring in that awareness among the youngsters, so that their success comes with calmness, their success come with peaceful life, their success become fruitful to them and to the society in the long run. See, now there are various parts in Mahabharata, and the one part of the part and small teaching part is Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
And in the teaching part, there's more related to performance of duty and the way it is to be performed with the detachment,
Right.
and the way at which you should look at it, and the perspective which you should take while you are performing this duty is explained.
Yes.
So the problem with youngsters is today is more with they are not able to detach themselves
Correct.
with what they are doing.
Correct.
This is one part of the major issues which you can see. The other issue is that the clear definition of the duty.
Right.
Everyone has been taught about rights
Correct.
by the society,
Correct.
and the duty aspect has never been explained to them.
Absolutely. Great point, brother.
The absence of giving them the input of duty, that what is your duty,
Correct.
and nobody knows about it.
Correct.
An youngster's part of it. The second is that they get so much attached and they don't know how to detach from there and stand alone and see the benefit of it, which also they are not being taught in their curriculum or in their educations or as a part of the things. Every aspect or the element of society keep telling them what are their rights. So the process of claiming rights, the mindless of the duty,
Right.
is the gap.
Absolutely.
And Bhagavad Gita has enough things to fill on this.
Correct.
If it's taught by people like you who have
Yes.
gone through that exercise of learning it properly and then disclosing it properly to the things. And what is your take on this, saying that today how you're going to reach this aspect of duty to the youngsters and relate them to the rights.
Okay.
Correct. And rights, in my view, is a fallout of duty.
Yes.
It's a fallout of duty. And without the duty, there can never be rights can never be established.
Correct.
And there is no rights.
Correct.
And right is not obtained alone. Right is obtained out of the duty which you perform.
Correct.
Really, when you perform the duty, you get a right of claiming the duty. You have a duty of taking care of your parents. Okay, they don't do that, but they claim the right of property.
No. Correct.
And which they clearly understand from a legal perspective.
Yes.
The system teaches that, but the system has no relevance or teaches anything to them about what is their duty with the reference to the parents.
Correct.
And the same thing, like how much is your right from the society, how much is your right from the government,
Correct.
and how much is your duty, and what is the kind of a duty which you have to the society is not being taught.
I'm glad.
So the Bhagavad Gita, which I really, the way I understood, a small part which I have read here and there, is focuses on duty.
Yes. It is focused, emphasizes on
duty, and especially this part of Mahabharata, which is Bhagavad Gita, is more on that.
Correct.
And then it also tells you how do you perform this duty without any expectations
Of the result.
of the results or the outcome, and without any right claiming attitude of like, this is what you get out of it, kind of it. That's the way this teaching comes out.
Wonderful.
So, part of it, if it can be explained to the youngsters
We will have to.
through the education system, right, through any other means,
Correct.
I think this will bring balancing, and in the process, some calmness will come in.
Definitely, Jim. It's a great suggestion. That's what we're trying to do. Where Bhagavad Gita in everyday life. If these aspects can be, what are my duties? When are my duties first? Then how, as you mentioned, the rights come from the duties you have fulfilled.
Yes, correct.
So, in that way, if that kind of an attitude comes, if I have not fulfilled any of my duties, how can I claim my rights?
See, unless you work for a month, you don't have a right of salary.
Correct.
Yeah, you need to understand it.
Yes.
And then, this right is a fallout of duty.
Correct. It's
It's
a fabulous point.
not
Yeah.
something
Fabulous
on
point.
its own. So, which is not understood by youngsters today, where they have an issue. The rights is an automatic thing, which falls on you.
That's wonderful.
We call this is a fallout.
Solid. Correct. It's a
Fallouts. You don't need to claim it.
Correct.
Which comes automatically on performance of the duty. This is exactly what is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Don't wait for results.
Yes.
Results will be there.
Focus on the
Results will be there, and results will be yours. But when you perform your duty, that's a way.
Correct.
And this part of things, if it is very clearly and well explained to the youngsters.
And what we're trying to do this with the next gen children, between the age of 9 to 16 or 18, we're trying to instill these values in them. It is duties versus rights, and then gratitude and disturbance. So many other valuable concepts and ideas are imparted to them, and they are turning out to be great citizens. The only thing is we have to scale it up in a certain way, so more and more children can get benefited.
Actually, Mahabharata, if you look at it, if somebody learn this properly, it deals with every aspect of the life, every aspect of the social life, and it has an answer for every situation, because it has been dramatized, to create that situations with an answer to that.
Yes.
So probably if it is well explained, and people will become so prepared to meet out with any situations in a prepared manner.
Correct. And there is clarity in making the decision. And there is no demanding. You want to perform your duties without failing any of your obligatory obligations, and rights also you don't claim in a way of whatever duties you have done in the UK. From that arises rights. Excellent point. Very nice one. And now we are getting into the important aspect of the Nagarathar community. A community which has been contributing to the nation's development for such a long time. So, we like to learn today the role of Nagarathar predominantly in business, their role in philanthropy, because I've read about them, and at the same time, their role in nation building. What do people need to know, learn, and get inspired from them? Your views on that, sir?
Thanks a lot. Thanks for asking these questions, because it's a subject which actually, to my heart. And there's a lot. And in fact, we can talk about this in greater length. But in short, this is a community which has, contributed to the national growth or to the human development at large in abundance, in which, it's not in proportion to their size. It's absolutely in proportion to their size. It's not really out of the proportions. The community just has 100,000 people.
Totally.
Total.
Now, in the present.
And it's as of now.
Okay.
As of now, it should be 100,000 or little plus are here or there. But the amount of impact which is created on the society is absolutely not at all proportionate to this number.
Right.
There are so many examples. This is a university, but this is the community which has created not schools and colleges, which is large in numbers. It has actually created universities. Very large universities of this, our Tamilnadu state, which is like Alappa University, Annamalai University, is the, contribution by the Nagarathar community. Besides that, to name anything, to name any industry, there is a contributions. Leave alone the commercial side, which is anyway, for a reason you do it, for your living you do it. But there's a very rich culture through exhibition of their lifestyle and the way they lived their life has a lot to tell as a contribution to the society. In fact, if you look at the Kannadasan, Arthamulla Hindu Madam,
that is my next question on a favorite thing, but you can continue.
That's itself is an extraction.
Correct.
Of our culture. In fact, what all Nagarathar has been practicing it in their day-to-day life is what he has brought out as Hindu Madam itself. That's the way, because whatever I could read there, I could easily relate to my day-to-day life. He has actually translated that into, writing and put it as Hindu Madam. That means I'm very proud, and at a point of time I used to be proud saying that whatever I'm doing is all in line with that what the Hindu Madam has taught us.
Right.
That's the way the culture has a lot to contribute to the society, the way of living their life. ஒரு வாழ்வியல் மெத்தடே ஒரு டோட்டலா வாழ்ந்து காட்டிய ஒரு சமூகம் நகரத்தார். அதாவது ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டெப்லையும் how do you do that? ஒரு ஹாஸ்பிட்டாலிட்டின்னு போனா how much is a hospitality you should be in? And when you go to the society, and what should be your contribution to the society? When you handle funds of society, how should you handle that funds? And what you should do? Their contribution in banking and finance is greater.
Can you name those companies?
Indian Overseas Bank, Indian Bank, Indian Bank, which got nationalized. Bank of Madurai, which got converted into ICICI Bank.
Okay.
All of them are founded and nurtured by Nagarathars, which is all long back, not today. And like for example, in the industry side, you know well about AIMM.
Yeah.
And you have a good connections with them, and then you know them personally. Murugappa Group. They've done in every field. They are into every field. They are today about a big company with more than 10,000 crores of net worth. Leave alone the money part, their contribution to the national growth and national wealth is really a great, and they continue to play that role. And then Arapa University is one part. Okay, is anyway, there is a contributions. Besides that, by his initiative, he has given 300 acres of land for setting up a research center in Karaikudi.
Wow.
This is the only time you can say a prime minister of the country visited Karaikudi,
Okay.
and he went and inaugurated this initiative there. Arapa is a well-known name. There's a second name.
I think a fitting name to that person, Aragappa, is correct. The beauty of that person.
And then Annamalai University. It's all university. It's a city on its own.
Right.
And in Chidambaram, it's a part of the city. And it has all the facilities, offered a great number of, scholarships, and many scholars have come out of that university. It's more than 100 years old today. This is the education side, and AMM is part of the, and if you come into Karamuthu group, which is Karamuthu Tyagarajan Chettiar, his contribution to Tamil and Tamil literature is really great. Besides that, we had 11 schools and, so many colleges. Tyagaraja College is still, which is doing very well,
I had the privilege of meeting them.
and he had, so much of things invested in textiles, and he was a pioneer in textiles. It's a big group which has contributed in a big way when India needed, economic growth plans and other things. And then contributions in the, what you call, so-called magazines or publications. It's great. Kumudam is from there.
Okay.
Kalkand is owned by Kumudam and Kalkand part of same thing. And there's so many Padipahams, Arnodaya, which are all known to me. There's so many book publications which actually nurtured the growth of the Tamil literature and,
Wonderful.
from the sites. The greater part is Patinathar is from there. If you want to just go back to the writings and where are, what is their contribution to the philosophical side of the life. You have many people. We have Kannadasan, and you have Savana Kaneshans. You have P. Chidambaram, who is,
For Thomas Minute.
political things. And then, in the Tamil and Tamil literature growth, the amount of contribution which Nagarathars have done is innumerous. You can't really count it.
In fact, I highlight in that I studied in Vivekananda College in Chennai. The entire land was donated by two Chettiars, Nagarathar Chettiars. And that too, it's in a prime area. They could have said that we may use it for our own personal purposes, but they contributed to the education. Vivekananda College the land was donated by two Chettiars, which is a phenomenal gesture. Thousands and thousands of students have graduated, and are graduating, and what a contribution! Immense contribution. Maybe that's a result. The fees are subsidized and they're so well taken care. So that's when I thought Nagarathars have hugely into philanthropy without much noise.
Yes, right.
Without much noise.
Not so much of noises, but an amount of risk which they have taken. Even today, what you have, if you just go into Far East countries, this is not only of like doing businesses and creating wealth and all these things. It is also creating name. The respect which is brought in to India has come out of their way of living in those countries.
Correct.
They have lived a very graceful and excellent life there. In such a manner and in total cooperation with the local people. in the process, the relationship with these two countries and with these Far East countries and everything have grown extremely well, and is even now is on in a very cordial and excellent things, which is all, their way of life. Correct. Has brought in that aspect in the whole thing in general, without even talking to any specific people. Is the way of life. How do you live your life, and each part of the life, and what kind of discipline you should follow, and what kind of a culture you should follow. And this is a great teaching by the Nagarathas. If you look at everything and the way they conduct their marriages, the way, they contribute to the society, the way they run the public institutions or public utilities, just as a temple, hospitals, and everything, has got a great amount of teaching or a kind of a messages to the society. That's one part. The rich culture which comes out of the Nagarathas is a great contribution to the society. This is what I feel as a part of that community. Even many individuals contributed to that in different fields, and the notable one which I've already explained to you.
Right.
In the educational side, and we have Arapa Chettiar, and we have Annamalai Chettiar, Raja Annamalai Chettiar, and on the philosophy, or on the Anviham side, Pattinathar is
you were previously we were discussing, is it the Chettinad people? First of all, that question I wanted to ask, only why the name Chettinad? Why that Nad added to the Chettiar community? What was that?
Yes, it what is it's really make it see, even though it's very small in number, even though it's a countable numbers in numbers, the amount of impact which has created on the society is really very great. And because of that impact which has created on the society, on the cultural side, on the contribution side, the area which they live itself has become a country. Because a country has everything. Country has something which has a contribution in all sides.
Right.
That's on the economic side, on the living side,
Agriculture.
on the agriculture side. That something which has a contribution of every side is only will be called Nadu.
Can be called
Nadu. That's why Chettiars contributed from every aspect of their life. In the process, that's automatically people started saying that itself is ஒரு நாடு மாதிரி இருந்தா செட்டிநாடு. நாடுல நீ எல்லாமே கத்துக்கலாம், எல்லாமே தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம், எல்லாமே செய்யப்பட்டிருக்கு. அப்படிங்கிறதுனால ஒரு ஊருங்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு கோவில் வேணும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி, ஒரு நாடுங்கிறதுக்கு என்ன அடையாளம், அந்த நாடுங்கிற அடையாளத்தை எல்லாத்தையும் கொண்ட ஒரு சமூகம் வாழ்ந்த இடத்த நம்ம நாடுன்னு அழைக்க கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிதான் அந்த செட்டிநாடுங்கிற அந்த பேரு அதுக்கு வந்தது. அதே மாதிரி ஒவ்வொரு கல்ச்சர்லயும் when you see an excellence in that particular field, then you name it automatically. The food which comes out from that particular area was excellent.
Correct.
And it was.
That's going to be another a special question I'm going to ask on about that. But I'm glad. There's so many aspects in it.
There's so many aspects.
What was the reason Nagarathas built such massive mansions? I mean, I'm told simple people also have large houses. So are the palaces. And it is stunning for me to hear that the Nagarathas' marriages are held in their houses. Not in, they may build a Thirumana Mandapam, a marriage hall for others, but their marriage will be held in their houses. Am I right?
Yes, right. The way it is. What is there, especially in their houses and in their native place. Wherever they live, they come back to their native places and have marriages there.
What was that reason or the the idea behind that, building large houses, it's not that they're showing off, but they had large houses. What was the reason behind that?
See, wherever they go, whatever they do, at the end of the day, they want to always get connected to their place where they were born and they're brought up. That's a culture in which they have grown. That's a teaching which they got from their ancestors. And in fact, one of the way of contributing to the society is through investing in that area,
Right.
doing in that area. Then only you can make that area live for a longer,
Right.
or it can be maintained for anybody else to come in later. So though they have made a large sum of money, and though they have made a large amount of, they did a lot of business outside India, they wanted to bring back here and then make that investments here, so that the investments get translated into the earnings of the local people, and the local people thrive on it to ensure that they continue to live there. If they have not done it, had they not done it, these people who were living there would have migrated from there and gone back to cities. Correct. This is one of the way they ensured that all the villages they were born continue to exist and thrive there with the amount of contributions or the economy which they have created out of the wealth which they have earned outside. This is the way they have brought in the economy of that particular regions.
Right.
They have helped the economy of the local regions.
Correct.
This is one of the method they have adopted.
And you are returning to your roots
Yes.
for important occasions.
Important
Yes,
occasions. And then you are ensuring that the people who live there have the means to live there.
Correct.
By ensuring that the economy of the local regions
Correct.
protected by the income which they earn from outside. Most of the times you don't need that mansion, because actually 24,000, 30,000 square feet of houses are not needed. Even though it's not needed, they built it because that will provide employment to the local people, and in the course, the people who live there will not be will not go into the inclination of moving from that place
Right.
and migrate into city.
Others.
The amount of stabilized villages which you see in Tamilnadu particularly, partly the contribution is from Nagarathars,
Wonderful.
because they made it in such a manner that the villages doesn't disappear, and villages economy has taken care by way of their mansions are built there, their marriages are held there, the amount of money which is spent on marriages are spent locally, and in the process local people get enough business to live there, and they have reasons to live there.
Wonderful.
And for this reason, wherever we live either in US or anywhere, our marriages, they come back here.
Right.
Which is marriages here.
Which is a rare sight.
Because you will see in Indian culture, when the way of spending money or spreading money to the various part of the economy
Correct.
is through marriages, or through social functions.
Right.
So social functions are generated either through temple or through your internal local functions, your personal functions.
Correct.
So both they ensure that it is done in their home country, in their home places. So they build temples. They used to visit the temple every time,
Right.
and they used to come here and celebrate all the things in the temple, and so that the local economy gets permitted. And then they conduct their marriages, which is a very important function of the life, and where a lot money is spent. And then they built houses there, and which again allow a solid growth of wealth in that particular area, so that that particular area always thrives.
Right.
For the economy to be in place in that particular places.
Wonderful.
It's one of the way of allowing the economy to spread and grow well.
And even the future generation, when they take it up, that culture sustains.
That culture is sustained. Like, for example, we all live in Dubai, has come back and built a nice vidadi in Karaikudi.
Right.
Because that's the way we brought in this money and allow that particular area to remain alive and active by building those buildings there, which many people does it today. And our youngsters to come in will also follow that.
Correct. And it's I mean, there are certain ideas and I would say gestures which we, the Nagarathas have done, makes a lot of sense when you go to the depth of it. Now, next question, which is one of my favorite question, is the impact of a great Nagarathar, our beloved Kavinyar Kannadasan. One Nagarathar who influenced every other person in the Tamilnadu. I don't think there's any person in Tamil Nadu who has not been impacted by this great Nagarathar. Whatever their personal life be, his contribution to living, his contribution to solving day-to-day issues, his contribution to creating happiness in smaller things in life, I think it's immeasurable. And I keep highlighting, and even so, my wife Sarita says, you mention that too often. I said my introduction to philosophy was through the great Kannadasan. And so various songs, his book Athamal Endu Madam, various songs of him, Aaru Maname Aaru, Andavan Kattale, so many songs, so many. In fact, that Sambho, Save Sambho, I never liked it when I first heard it, but it is pure philosophy. That's his kind of a contribution, immense contribution. So,
Kannadasan,
that's why I want you to share your insights of one of the favorite Nagarathas, one of the favorite individuals Nagarathas have produced.
yes, it's
With a piece here, myself.
significant, no? Because it touched every common man.
Correct.
ஒரு நடுத்தர வர்க்கமோ இல்லை ஒரு எளிமையான வாழ்க்கையை வாழக்கூடியவங்களோ இல்லை ஒரு வருமானத்தில் குறைவாக இருக்கக்கூடியவங்க மாதிரி எனி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் திங் he has touched.
Correct.
He has touched. That is his thing. His major contributions, while actually Nagarathar's contribution to Tamil and Tamil literature is really innumerable and immense in all the field. Either bringing in Tamil magazines or having publications in Tamil publications, or with quite a lot number of people. Paduvar Muttaya is there, and so many people are there who all contributed well on the sides. But the special thing of Kannadasan is very, very different, because he touched every aspect of your life. Okay, and any part of your life.
Right.
And he reached this language, our mother tongue Tamil, in a simplest form to a common man.
Correct.
Through the poetry. Anybody can easily relate with it. Because he touched every part of the life. When he was touching it, he touched it in a very graceful manner. ஒரு காதலையும் ஒரு காமத்தையும் ஒரே மாதிரி ஒரு கிரேஸ்ஃபுல்லா டச் பண்ணக்கூடிய ஒரே ஒரு கவிஞர் கண்ணதாசன் ஒரு ஆள் தான். வேற யாராலையும் டச் பண்ண முடியாது. ஒரு காம உணர்வையும் ஒரு காதல் உணர்வையும் ஒரு பக்தி உணர்வையும் ஒரே மாதிரி தமிழ்ல கிரேஸ்ஃபுல்லா சொன்னது தமிழ் இவர் ஒரு ஆள் தான். மற்றவங்கள்ட்டெல்லாம் நீங்க அதை பாடும்போது அந்த உணர்வை பெறுவீங்க. நீங்க இதுல நீங்க அந்த ஒரு அர்த்தத்தை தான் புரிவீங்களே தவிர அந்த உணர்வை உங்களுக்கு வராது.
உணர்ச்சி பூர்வமா நம்ம
you will understand the meaning of it and you will recognize that as a meaning. பட் அதை நீங்க பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணும்போது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு காம உணர்வோ இல்ல ஒரு காதல் உணர்வோ வராம அதை ஒரு பாடல் மூலமா கொண்டு வரணும். அவர் தான்
அந்த that particular song, ஆயர்பாடி மாளிகையில் அந்த ஒரு சாங், அந்த ஒரு கிருஷ்ண ஒரு ஆல்பம் இருக்கு, ஆயர்பாடி மாளிகையில்.
நீங்க ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் வீடு வரை உறவு, வீதி வரை மனைவி, காடு வரை பிள்ளை, கடைசி வரை யாரோ, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு simplest formula, how can you reach? Who will come at what level? He is explaining that to you. A common man clearly understand what he is saying. இது ராமாயணத்தையோ இதையோ நீங்க படிச்சீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு புரியுமா இல்லையான்னு தெரியும். பட் ராமாயணத்தை எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணி அந்த ராமாயணத்தை ஒரு எளிமையான கவிதையாக்கி கொடுத்தது கண்ணதாசன் ஒரு
ஓகே.
கம்பராமாயணத்தை முழுமையாக ஒவ்வொரு பகுதியா பிரிச்சு எங்கேயோ ஒரு இடத்துல ஒரு பாடல்ல அவர் கொண்டு வந்துருவார்.
அப்படியா?
அது தெரிஞ்சவங்க ரிலேட் பண்ணி புரிஞ்சுக்குவாங்க. தெரியாதவங்களுக்கு திஸ் இஸ் they understand the whole meaning of it.
அந்த காலங்களில் வசந்தம், கலைகளிலே இது taken from the idea is picked up from Bhagavad Gita.
எஸ்.
இந்த சாப்டர் 11 அந்த மாதிரி ஒன்று இருக்கு. அதில் 10 and 11 அதில் அந்த டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷனை அவ இந்த மாதிரி கொண்டு தருது. இட்ஸ் a phenomenal take.
The major thing about him is that he could reach anyone.
Correct.
And he has reached everyone.
Everyone.
And then anyone has some relations with him with reference to his own experience.
Correct.
Because he has actually shared their experience.
Correct.
In the Tamil language, கிளியரா அவங்களுக்கு உள்ள ஒரு ஃபீலிங்கை கவிதையாக்கி கொடுக்க முடியுங்கிறது. அதனால ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் இந்த ரிலேட் பண்ண முடிஞ்சதுனால அதோட ஒன்றிடுறாங்க. இதுதான் அதனுடைய
அவருடைய சக்சஸே அதுதான். யதார்த்தமா, ஐ மீன் ப்ராக்டிக்கல், சிம்பிள் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட், பட் அட் த சேம் டைம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம்லி இன் டெப்த். This was a gift which I guess one in a few generations will have. And when I knew that he is from a Nagarathar community, what
you need to understand is here is that community has a great role to play in all these things. In the culture in which he has grown, in the circumstances in which he was brought up, and the experiences that community has given to him,
right,
has actually, with his own ability, he turned it around.
Correct.
That's what we are all doing now.
Correct.
That's why we are grateful to our own community, which has brought in this culture well within us. Within the different dimensions we are all exhibiting. And Kannadasan exhibited that, very well through Tamil.
Correct.
And whatever he has learned or whatever he has practiced as a part of the community practices, he brought it out as a book called Arthamula in the Bangalore. In Arthamula, every part of which when I read it, I indirectly relate, this is all happening in my house kind of.
Right, right.
Because he brought it out from there. And, his greatness is that he got connected to a common man in a simplest form. And he is the only guy who delivered Tamil effectively to a lowest guy in the
which is a monumental effort. Anything, I remember reading a portion, if anything very complicated looks extremely simple.
See, தொட்டால் கூமலரும் தொடாமல் நீ மலர்ந்தாய். See, the way of expressing that, the meaning which is inside. It's a kind of a thing which is saying, correct, ஒரு காதலை எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்றதோ, இல்ல ஒரு காமத்தை எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்றதோ, இல்ல ஒரு பக்தியை எக்ஸ்பிரஸ்.
என்னது, நினைத்ததெல்லாம் நடந்து விட்டால் தெய்வம் இது பண்ணுறது, நினைத்ததெல்லாம் நடந்து விட்டால் அந்த சாங் இஸ் அ வெரி ஃபேமஸ் சாங்.
இது மாதிரி தத்துவ பாடல்கள்ங்கிறது ஒரு 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 பாட்டு. இது நீங்க இலக்கிய பாடல்கள்ங்கிறது ஒரு பாட்டு. இந்த மாதிரி ஒவ்வொரு
he wrote the dialogues for the Karnan movie. அந்த கர்ணன் மூவி, என்னது சிவாஜி நடிச்ச கர்ணன் மூவி, the dialogues were written by Kavinder Kannadasan. Songs were also written by him in that. It is a fabulous dialogues. In fact, after watching the Karnan movie only, the admiration of Karnan has gone up for in South India. The Tamilnadu பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, they even though Karnan was a part of Duryodhan clan, it is Karna's admiration was through this movie. So I'm glad you were able to bring about, and he will continue to be one of those most notable Nagarathars. Another major interest Chettinad has generated is its food. The Chettinad food seems to be something which is cherished by people from all over India, And there's a lot of restaurants of mushrooms in different parts of India. Even in Dubai, I've seen Chettinad based cuisine. You are the best person to explain to us how it became such a specialty.
See now, like we have earlier discussed, one of the very important character of Nagarathas is that whatever they try and whatever they do, and they try their level best. They actually try to reach an excellence in the particular field. It's a matter of attempt. It's their nature. And whether they do business or they are into the activities of Anmiga activities, they do anything. They try their level best to do at the best possible manner and in an excellent manner. She put it very in a manner in which is getting related to today's time. I just go and look at Steve Jobs' words. Okay, from whatever there are many things which he said good about for us to learn. One of the things which I could relate because of what we are talking, he said that, guys, at the end of the day, what really matters is that what you deliver to the society. And what you deliver to the society is is basically one of the ways to make something which is very wonderful and useful and great to the society and put it across.
Right.
One of the ways to appreciate and give something to the society is that make something great, make something wonderful and put it out. You don't need to go and then speak about this to anybody else. You don't need to give the stories to anybody else. You don't need to publish it to anybody else. What you need to do is only that when you are making that, make it with love and care.
Right.
And the minute you make anything with love and care for the society, and if it gets delivered and put it out to the society, that's good enough of appreciation of humanity.
Right.
This is his words.
Right.
And that's the way it is. Because this food, which is Chettinad food, which you are actually saying is, most of them find this to be tasty and good. Is many people is proud of using Chettinad name,
right,
and attached to Chettinad chicken.
Right.
It's like that. It's, they all feel proud about announcing it as Chettinad food and sell it in the market. How? Because one of the major characters, notable characters of Nagarathar is hospitality. And, any guest who come into our things, we have a culture of treating them with care and love. And even the food which we make, we also make like anybody else. But the mix which we give is our love and care. The love and care which I give it to that, what I offer to the society,
right,
is make that food much more tastier and,
correct,
much more appreciable by anybody else. The delivery of that happens with the smiling face. The delivery of that happened with all care that I had input while I'm preparing that food.
Uh-huh.
And the love which I have it for you,
correct,
is what is expressed through that food.
Correct.
That is because of the very fundamental nature of Nagarathars, that's hospitality. The food has become tasty and it has become famous in this world. That the taste doesn't come alone on the mixtures.
Correct.
The taste comes on the emotional of the people who make that food.
Correct. Correct.
That's why you feel that your home food is always better for your health.
Correct.
That's only reasons, because what is missing between the food which is made outside and which is made in the home is that what is made in the home has a love and care. which is not there outside. Outside is a commercial reason.
Correct.
So Chettinad food has become famous because of their fundamental natural character of hospitality.
Wonderful.
That's the reason.
I can imagine not food, snacks. They have master many aspects of life.
See, it's made by them. Like Steve Jobs says, that my appreciation of the human humanity is my delivery. What they delivered to the society, and I delivered it with care and love to the society. And that's what is appreciation of humanity.
Absolutely.
Same way, like, you call any Chettinad Palaharam, which is very famous, like Murukku, Adarasam, and so many things, Chettinad chicken. All this thing is made by them, by the people who catch for you,
Correct.
who loves you, and in the course they make it more tasty.
Absolutely.
This is what is the secret of the whole thing.
Correct. It does manifest. The subtle, the affection, concern, and the attention they put into the preparation has a great deal. Wonderful, Ji. So you are wanting to share something about the youth and the other aspects.
Yes, correct. See, another one which we have, another one which is famous Chettinad is that Chettinad buildings. Chettinad constructions are quite famous. One of the major reasons is that the globalizations of like moving around the world and learning things from there, but adopting to all the best of the world and bringing them to India
Right.
was the result. The result was that the bigger buildings and the beautiful buildings which you see in Chettinad.
Right.
Long back, someone asked that Kamaraj, great Kamaraj, saying that what is that which makes a human being, is special and good. அவருடைய வார்த்தையில என்னைக்கு ஒருத்தனுடைய ரசனை கரெக்டா ஃபிட் ஆகுதோ அப்போ he becomes a great human being.
Wonderful.
செட்டினாஸுடைய இன்னொரு பெரிய கேரக்டர் என்னன்னா வாட் எவர் தே டூ ஒரு பெரிய ரசனையோட பண்ணுவாங்க. They get involved into that and then they try their level best to make it best in the world. That was got reflected in the buildings which is there.
Okay.
நீ அங்க போய் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு இடத்துல ஒரு சுத்தி வளையம் போட்டிருக்காங்க, அது எல்லா இடத்துலயும் இருக்கு. அப்படின்னா இந்த வளையத்துல இருந்து பார்த்தா அந்த கடைசி வளையம் வரைக்கும் நீ ஒரே
geometrical
சேஞ்ச். அதே மாதிரி இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டோரும் அந்த லாஸ்ட் டோர் வரைக்கும் everything will look very symmetric and in a such in a row. You will watch this now.
Yes.
And then they made things in a such a manner that முகப்பு, வளவு, அப்புறம் அடுப்படி, அதுக்கப்புறம் இடையில உள்ள சாப்பிடக்கூடிய இடங்கள், இந்த மாதிரி பிரிச்சு கரெக்டா நடுவில் பண்ணக்கூடிய அந்த வளவுங்கிறத ஃப்ரம் அ சயின்டிஃபிக் வே they made it in such a manner, air, sun, everything comes into that.
In abundance.
பெரிய முற்றத்தோட சன் ஏர் எல்லாம் வர்ற மாதிரியும் அதே சமயம் ரீசனபிளா கூலா இருக்குங்கிறேன். முட்டைகள் கலந்த செவரை உருவாக்குறது, இது மாதிரி scientifically they looked at it from scientific perspective. From a beauty perspective also they looked at it. From a globalization perspective, adopting good things from others, they brought the glasses, beautiful glasses from China. They brought all teakwood from Burma.
Wow.
Like this.
Excellent.
They brought all these things from various places and built this with a lot of care to build something present, a big thing in the. Now they don't intend to live there.
Correct.
They made it big.
Correct.
Because whatever they do, they wanted to do it in the correct and best manner.
Wonderful.
அது அந்த பில்டிங்களுடைய ஒரு கருது. இன்னைக்கு நீங்க இப்போ செட்டிநாடு போனீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும்,
Right, sir.
நிறைய பில்டிங்ஸ் நீங்க பார்க்கக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பு இருக்கும். அது மாதிரி இப்போ ரீசெண்டாக நீங்கள் அந்த சன் டிவியில் சீரியல் வரக்கூடிய நல்ல சீரியல்ஸ் எல்லாமே மோஸ்ட்லி செட்டிநாடு ஹவுசஸ்ல இருக்கக்கூடியதாக இருக்கும். அதுதான் அது தென் இதெல்லாமே அந்தந்த ஷூட்டிங் எடுக்கிறவங்கெல்லாம் தேர் ஆல்சோ ஹெல்பிங் அஸ் டு ப்ரிசர்வ் இட் டுடே அண்ட் இட்ஸ் ஹேப்பனிங்.
Wonderful.
So that's one of the things.
Wonderful. I'm glad.
And my thing is to the youngsters is that today is that just believe that there's no substitution for hard work. You know, never try to achieve anything in the shortest route. And anything which is achieved in the shortest route will also have a short life.
You're right.
Is not going to be, one is related to the other. அதே மாதிரி when you do certain things, ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் ஒரு poet எனக்கு I used to ரொம்ப recall myself. இது வந்து ஃபாதர் காஸ்பர்னு சொல்லிட்டு இங்கே is a great guy in Tamil and speaks very well and orates very well. And I used to listen to his speeches. அவர் 2-3 இதை யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டார். விளையும் பொருள் எதுவும் தானாக வீடு வந்து சேருவதில்லை. அதாவது எந்த ஒரு பொருளாக இருந்தாலும் அதுவா வந்து உங்க வீட்டுக்குள்ள நுழையிறதுக்கான வாய்ப்பே கிடையாது. அது மாதிரி what you need to do, you always have to think, பாதை நெடிது, வழித்துயரம் தவிர்க்க துணை தேடேன், என் படைக்கு ஒரு சிலரே போதும், நான் ஒருவனே போதும் அப்படிங்கிறத you should always keep remembering, remind yourselves that nothing comes on its own.
Correct.
You have to work for it. And when you work, you decide to walk alone.
Correct.
You have a courage of walking alone. You may have to walk a long distance. It may be difficult one. நெடுந்துயர்.
Right, right.
ஓகே, நெடித்தூரம் நீ துயரோடு நடக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கூட இருக்கலாம். அந்த மாதிரி வரும்போது வலித்துயரம் தீர்க்க நான் யாரையும் துணை தேடேன், என்னுடைய துயரத்தை நானே தாங்கிக்கக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு ஒரு தைரியமான ஆளாக நான் வளருவேன். என் படைக்கு ஒரு சிலரே போதும்.
Correct. Correct.
When you want to achieve certain things, don't think you need a large number of people.
Correct.
You just need only a few people with the same mind. And sometimes you alone should be enough.
Correct. And try
to achieve that. And keep repeating this in your mind.
Wonderful.
And that's what they think, which most of the youngsters should learn it.
Correct.
Don't look for too many things to come and support what you want to do.
Correct.
And when you want to do, always believe you can do, and you will be able to do.
Wonderful.
So what our advice is, don't follow anyone.
Correct.
Follow your intuitions.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And you get inspired by anyone. That's a different matter. There are a lot of people who inspires you.
Yes, you don't need to submit yourself.
You don't need to follow.
Right.
You don't need to follow, but you can follow. But if you can take your own path and walk that things like the way we explained it now, that will be great.
Correct.
That will be great. You want the
wonderful. Nice inputs from all and motivate in your own way to raise yourself.
Raise yourselves. And then keep repeating yourselves. At no point of time, don't teach the children to compete. You are not in competition with anyone. Never compare yourselves with anyone. You meet many people on the way and you part away with them. Okay. And it's not, no one is going to be
Right.
you all along.
Right.
Like I said that, Kannadasan says, "Kadasi vara yaro."
Correct. Correct.
You don't know.
Correct.
So the journey which you are going to take in your life, understand that very clearly. It's your personal journey.
Right.
Yes, for a personal journey, you may be alone.
Correct.
You you may have to go alone, or you might have been joined with the many people. But irrespective of that, have a courage.
Correct.
And continue on your own personal journey.
Yeah.
This is a message I want to
Wonderful.
give it to the
Wonderful. It's very pertinent, very important. And thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Chokalingam. When I learned a lot, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who will get benefit, especially the Nagarathar community. They should be proud. And we spoke about so many great Nagarathars, but I'm sitting with one here. I'm sitting with one great Nagarathar.
Thank you.
And so, I wanted to conclude with that. I was expecting that somebody else will talk, but I'm saying, in the list of great Nagarathars, Kannadasan, all these great entrepreneurs, you mentioned, you are a part of it. You are one of those Nagarathars who making a phenomenal impact, and very quietly and very profoundly. So continue with your great work in your business and in your social initiatives. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who will, take inspiration from the impact one person's life can make. And you're doing it quietly. You're not making a noise. You're bringing in others in the social thing, but you're spearheading it, pioneering it by your own effort, by your own energies, thought process. So, kudos to you. Real appreciation to the effort, to the intention you have. It is just a beginning. I'm sure there'll be others who will be inspired and take up this kind of an ideas and the initiatives. So, as Shakespeare says, may his tribe increase. So may your tribe increase. And with all the great Nagarathas, I'm glad that I'm sitting with one of the legends here. So, continue your good work, sir. And it's a pleasure having known you for a long time. And it's a pleasure to see you in your place.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
It was very nice meeting you.
Right.
No, the whole thing is that we keep learning.
Yes.
And in the process of learning, you don't carry many things with you, and you keep downloading this to the others. And this is a process.
Yeah.
And thank you for giving me one of such opportunities where I could download some part of my own, learning things, and which actually, gives me enough cushion and freedom to learn more.
Absolutely, Rebiz.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So welcome. But this is just a beginning. I'm sure we'll do with you again on another fabulous topic relating to Nagarathas. And once again, Namaskaram. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.